If you sell anything through a website, especially if you're in e-commerce, you might be thinking the answer to all of your sales problems is just more traffic. You get more traffic, you get more sales. Well, that might be true to a degree, but chances are you are throwing away a lot of money by doing that. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the holy grail of selling online, which is conversion rates. The higher that your conversion rates are, the more profitable that your business is going to be. And before we throw a whole bunch of money at advertising, we're going to look at how we can improve our conversion rates. So let's jump into it. Hi there, I'm Rod. I'm the owner of Rod Bland Agency. Thank you to my 650 odd wonderful subscribers on YouTube or via the podcast, if that's how you're listening today. Now, I've talked a bit about conversion rates and how to improve conversion rates in previous videos, and it really bears repeating. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through the top 5 things that you really need to be concerned about on your website above the fold. So that's everything the user can see before they start to scroll, whether it's on desktop or on a mobile platform. Pretty much everything I'm going to say today isn't something that hasn't already been said before. And the reason I'm repeating it again, and I'll keep on repeating it, is because whenever I'm talking to a prospective client, it's very rare that they already have all of these items dialed in with their business to maximize their conversion rates. There are 5 key elements. So let's jump on the computer and I'll take you through each one. Okay, so here we are on the computer. Now, as I mentioned, there are 5 key elements, and these are the most important elements that you need to address for anything that's above the fold. So that is before the user starts to scroll. Element number 1 is strong imagery. So you need to have a very compelling and strong and attractive image, otherwise known as a hero image, on your website. So there's a couple of examples here. This one for Lunar Lens is one of the best examples I've seen. It's a beautiful image. It's very compelling. It's bright. It's colorful. There's a lot going on there that really captures your attention. On the right here, we've got one of our clients, Aquaholics, and this is for a newer version of their current website. So this is how they've got things at the moment, which is actually a big improvement on what they had. So when we look at the strong imagery, previously there was an image here that wasn't all that great. So they've upgraded with this one here, but there's still some more work to do. So you see this image here, the lighting's a little better. It's a little brighter. There's more saturation in there, and it will be more attractive to people who keep fish for a hobby. Element number 2 is you have to have a clear value proposition. So you have to be able to spell out in one sentence, what is the value that you provide to your prospective customer? And I don't mean what is it that you sell, what is the benefit that you provide to your customer? So if we look once again over at Lunar Lens, out of this world lighting, it's quite an emotive and short sentence, out of this world. There's a lot of emotion packed into those 4 words. I'll show you another example here from Beer Monster. I don't particularly like how they do the carousels here, but if we go back to the first one, pour the perfect pint at home. Once again, plenty of emotion in those words. It's really succinct, really clear, and it spells out the benefit to the customer. It's not, we sell equipment so that you can make your own beer at home. It's what is it that gets delivered to the end user, which is pour the perfect pint at home. Element number 3 is you've got to have a very clear call to action. So if I go back to Lunar Lanterns, well, it doesn't get much simpler. Shop now. And shop now is really one of the safest call to actions that you can go with. The other thing about it is it is clear because it's a color that stands out from everything else. It fits in with a color scheme, but it's also bold and it stands out on its own. So you really can't miss it, and it's easy for you to know where you need to proceed to next. And even when you look at the mobile version of their site, you can see here that that call to action is really front and center. There's no scrolling required, and it's very clear as to what's going to happen next. If we look at Beer Monster, very similar idea. They've even animated the little finger here as well. Once again, it's a really clear call to action. There's no doubt about where you can proceed to next. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples that could be improved. Now, Bilpin Cider is one of my favorite brands of cider. It's made in Bilpin, which is outside of Sydney in Australia. As you can see, there's a great video here, but there's no clear call to action as to where to go next. The only option that I've got is to head to a menu. I really suggest having just a strong image rather than a video on your homepage, mainly for the sake of site speed, but also having that really clear call to action would be much more useful. I'll just show you another example of a before and after. So this is on the Wayback Machine, Figure by Jules. Before, they had a number of scrolling images for their shapewear, but there was no clear call to action. Now, if you look at the current version of their website, it's not perfect, but at least they now have a clear call to action so that people know where they can go to next. All right, let's move on to element number 4, which is social proof. Now, on their Beer Monster website, they utilize social proof really well. There's always just a single review here. It's got a person's photo and it has what they said and their complete name. At the end of the day, we humans, we're emotional creatures and we rely a lot on what other people say or do to make decisions, especially when it comes to buying things. If we look at Lunar Lens, they occasionally switch out the review that they use here, but always have that really clear social proof. You can experiment with stars, but generally speaking, the gold stars are the ones that really stand out. You've got the picture of the person, you've got the quote, and you've got their name there. So let's just recap my notes here. Number one is strong imagery. Number two is a clear value proposition. Number three is a clear call to action. And number four is social proof. Number five is trust. So we have to imbue trust as quickly as possible so that a prospective buyer will buy from your business. This is one of the things that Tim Ash talks a lot about in both of the books that he's written on this subject. The first book he wrote was called Landing Page Optimization, which was really one of the very first of its kind. I think it was like 15 years ago. And he talks a lot about trust in that book as part of the process that people go through when it comes to making a buy decision. Now, one way you can infer trust is by using payment symbols like we use here. So those payment symbols are all very well recognized. When people see them, there's automatically some trust that gets transferred to what it is they're looking at. Now, if we have a look at the Figure website, they're using other brands or other publications that people would recognize their logos: Daily Mail, Channel 9, Who Magazine, Woman's Day. They're all logos and brands that people recognize, and that's where they've been featured. So then we use those images, those logos, those brands to add trust to their business. Just in case you skipped to the end or close to the end of this video, I'll just recap on the 5 key above the fold elements that you need to be concerned with to maximize conversion rates on your website. Number one is you need to have strong imagery. Number two is you've got to have a clear value proposition. Number three, you have to have a clear call to action, such as shop now. Number four is you need to have social proof, such as reviews from people who have purchased your products. Number five is you need to establish trust. Now you can do that with payment symbols or symbols from other well-known brands or other well-known publications that your business has been featured in. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a big shout out to Oliver Kenyon from ConversionWise. A lot of what I've told you here today are things that Oliver's been talking about for 10 years. And one of the websites that I showed you today, Lunar Lens, is one of the websites that they've worked on. I think their conversion rate is something like 7 or 8%. It's absolutely ridiculous. So thank you to Oliver and his team. They produce a lot of free content on their YouTube channel. Go and check those out if you want to learn more about conversion rate optimization. And speaking of conversion rate optimization, that's one of the things that we help our clients with. We also help with their email marketing optimization, particularly the automated side of things, and of course with their Facebook and Instagram advertising. So if you are wanting to do better in any of those areas and you'd like to have a chat with somebody, there'll be a link in the video description below. We can book a time in my calendar. We can have a chat about what you're doing, what you'd like to do, see if we might be a good fit, and who knows, we may end up working together at some point in the future. Now, if you've enjoyed today's content, please hit the like button, click subscribe. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you in the next video.